Welcome. This is video number 4 in the series How to Stay Mentally Healthy in a Crazy World. And this one is about the second connection that we need to stay mentally healthy. We have the connection with the universe and with people and with yourself and with nature. And this one is about nature, and that's one of the easiest connections, in fact, to get. So this will be a comparatively easy video to watch. So have fun and we will see what we are going to talk about. The nature connection, the second hey Paul. First thing we're going to talk about what is nature. So what are we talking about? Then we have three misunderstandings that prevent us of feeling the connection with nature. We talk a bit about being there. And of course, we are going to talk about how to use it and, like always, the conclusion. So, what's nature? That's the first thing. And nature is, in fact, all about living things. So, everything that's living is part of nature. So, if it's a plant or a flower or a bird or an animal, but also like a cow or a plant in your garden, it's living. And why is it so important, the living things, is that we are part of it, and it's something that we really can't understand yet. We've explored as human beings with science lots of things about life, but we can describe it very well, but really understanding is a lot more difficult because there is a lot of magic in it. And the magic is in fact because it's working against the law of entropy. In physics, the law of entropy says that every process that's going on will lead to more chaos. So if there's order, like a structure, then after a while it will fall apart. And that's just the way it is. It's a bit pessimistic, but that's just the way it is. And life is just the opposite of it. Because out of seemingly nothing, or something small like a pupa or an egg, there is coming a beautiful butterfly and a beautiful bird. And it's out of particles, there's a bigger structure created, like without any effort. It's happening. And that's the real magic of life, and it's the magic of life that's important for us because we are part of that, and if we can feel the connection with all living things, it helps us a lot for in staying mentally healthy. And the most important thing about that is it's especially important if you work a lot with machines, because machines are not alive. They can move, but they are not alive. And that's really completely different. So if you work a lot with machines and screens and stuff like that, then you don't feel the connection with the magic of life anymore, and then it's good to go to nature and feel that connection again. And before we do that, it's important to understand three, in fact, misunderstandings that prevent us from feeling the real connection. The first thing is that people often say that nature is just a hobby. It's a hobby, it's like a hobby. And nature can be a very nice hobby. You can go bird watching, you can explore orchids or whatever, and it's a very nice hobby. But that hobby is more like something nice for the mind as well. But the essence is something else. The essence is that you feel the connection with nature because we need it. It's not a hobby, it's something we really need. Without nature, we can't survive. Not only in a practical sense, because it gives us a lot of things that we have to, all the food is coming from nature in one way or another, but we need it mentally. So it's a hobby, but not just a hobby. It's more than that. The second one is nature needs protection. And so nature is a weak thing, and if we don't protect it, it won't survive. And that's a big misunderstanding because long after all humans will be gone, nature will still be there. And it's like now we have the sixth wave of extinction, and that's very serious, but not really for nature, because if it's a sixth wave of extinction, then we already had five, and the biodiversity is incredible in nature after five waves of extinction. So don't worry too much about nature. Nature will survive. And why is it a problem that we think that nature needs protection? The problem is that we put ourselves above nature. And we are not above nature, we are part of nature. And if we put ourselves above nature, we can't feel the connection anymore. And it's like we see that nature is a weak, like a weak child. We have to take care for it, and then it's difficult to feel the real connection that we have to be a part of it. So nature doesn't need protection. We need nature, but nature doesn't need us. The third one is that nature is behind the fence. And of course, we have arranged it that way. We have special nature areas, and you can go there, and then you have to follow all kind of rules because the protection. And it's important to understand that nature is everywhere, because nature, they are the living things. So if you think that nature is only in a nature area, you're wrong. There's nature in the park, there's nature on a farm, there's nature in the city, there's nature everywhere, because you have living things everywhere. And there can be insects and bugs, but there are also cows and horses and cats and dogs, all living things. And we can say that a cat is not natural, but it's a living thing. So it shares the magic of life. So the feeling the connection with all living things helps us to have that counterbalance in a machine that's run by screens and by machines. So nature is everywhere, also important to understand. And the easy thing about nature is that being there is enough. And so everything counts. If you're in a park or on a farm or in a real forest, it always helps. And it doesn't matter what you're doing there. So if you're having a meeting in a forest, or you're sitting even behind your laptop in a forest the whole day, if you come back, you will feel completely different compared to being in an office the whole day. So after a whole day at the office, you have a headache and you're stressed. If you do this exactly the same thing in a forest or on a farm in a park, you feel a lot better. So everything counts. That's the nice thing about it. So you just have to create a reason to go outside, and because any reason counts. And you can go there for bird watching, but you can also go there to have a meeting, to let out your dog, to meet a friend. It doesn't matter, to drink a beer, whatever. Go outside, create a reason, and it will help. And the only thing that you have to take care of a little bit is that you don't let your mind take over. And especially people who go to nature a lot, they tend to let that happen. And can go in different reasons. You can have to, that you go into nature with a target. If you have a target, your mind likes targets, but you won't feel the connection anymore. If you're looking for something that's not there, like you want to see a special bird, I've experienced it a lot. If you want to see a special bird and it's not there, then your mind will take over and you don't feel the connection with nature anymore. And it's the same with if you compare the nature now with what it should be. A lot of naturalists do that, and they are very pessimistic about that. So they get sad when they are in nature because it's not what it should be, and that's not a good idea. That's your mind tricking you again, because those living things are still magic. So that's another way of thinking. And the other thing that can hold you back a bit is knowledge. Knowledge can be great because you see a lot more, so you see more different things. So you can enjoy it more and you can feel the connection better. But if knowledge really takes over, then it will, it's like a screen between you and nature. And I know a lot of biologists, their knowledge that's really hindering them because they take nature so serious that they can't enjoy it anymore. And in fact, lots of biologists don't even leave the office anymore. So that's probably not the best example. So being there is enough. Create a reason and go out. How to use it? That's of course very important because if you feel the connection with nature, what does it bring to you? And the first thing, it brings energy, and that's really that's quite magical because everything that's living has their own energy. If it's a big elephant or the smallest moss, if you feel the connection with it, you feel that it's alive, and the energy that you will absorb it and you can use it in your life to be active but also to stay mentally healthy. The second one is that you get a modest mind, because your mind is one of the biggest obstacles for staying mentally healthy, because they are mentally healthy. The peoples are in the deeper layers, so it's good to have a modest mind. And if you're in nature and you see the wonder of nature, then your mind stays a little bit modest. The other thing you can use it for are the other connections, because nature is a really good place to meet other people, to meet yourself, to get to know yourself, and to get the connection with the universe. And it's not like Buddha. He was getting the enlightenment, the experience of enlightenment under a tree, not in a temple, under a tree. So he went to nature to feel the connection with the universe. And the same way we can go to nature to feel the connection with other people and to feel the connection with yourselves. Like in Indians, they go on a quest and they search for the connection with nature, and that wisdom they use to connect to themselves to have their important decisions. So it's all about staying connected with all living things. So it's about staying alive and feeling alive, and not feeling like a machine, but feeling like a living thing. And that's really the magic that will help you a lot in staying mentally healthy. So the conclusion: nature is life, and we need it. We need it for our own mental health. And the nice thing is, you just have to go outside, and you will feel the energy. You will feel small because you feel modest. Your mind will feel modest. And you feel small in the big wonder of nature. You feel connected, and then you feel alive. And that feeling alive will help you a lot to keep the balance and to stay mentally healthy. Thank you very much for watching this, and hope to see you next time.